of the circle. Now, the equation can be given in a standard and not in a standard form. So now we should be able to determine the center of the circle if it's given in a standard form and not in a standard form. What do I mean by that? Now, this one here, it's an equation of a circle in a standard form. It's the one that we know, the one that we're going to get from our information sheet. That one is there. There is another equation of a circle, which is this one here. This one is derived from this one. It comes from this one. It's still exactly the same thing. It's just this one, it's in a standard form. This one here is not in a standard form. How should you think about this thing here? Again, you can have an equation of a straight line, which is y is equal to mx plus c. It's a standard form. Okay? Now I can then take this to this other side. If I take this to this other side, it says that I have y, which is minus mx minus c, which is going to be 0. This is still an equation of a straight line, not in a standard form. This is an equation of a straight line in a standard form. Now, how then do you get the standard form to be not in a standard form? It's simple. You will simply expand this thing and then multiply throughout. Then you'll get this thing not in a standard form. That's not what we are doing today. What I want us to do is this. I want us to say, if we are given this thing in a standard form, let's determine the coordinates of the center. What are going to be the coordinates of the center? So the equation is given as x minus a all squared. And it's given as y minus b all squared. And then we said a and b, they represent the center. A and b, they represent what? The center. The simplest way to get the center, if you are given the equation in a standard form, is to think of it this way. You're going to say x plus 3 is equal to 0. And then you're going to say y minus 2 is going to be equal to 0. If you take this thing to this other side, it says which x is going to be equal to minus 3. And then here it says which y is going to be equal to what? 2. It's going to be what? To be 2. And then what are going to be the coordinates of the center? The coordinates of the center of the circle, it says which they didn't say anything about it, we call it m. So I'm going to say that the coordinates are going to be minus 3 is to what? Is to 2. The length of the radius. Remember what? According to the standard form of the equation, this is r squared. Okay? This is radius squared. So it means in other words, you say r squared is going to be equal to what? 32. Again, r squared is equal to 32. Then it means which r is going to be equal to root. And then it means which r is going to be square root of what? Of 32. Now, I'm only doing this if they want the length of the radius. Are we good? Mm-hmm. Now, come and do number 2 and number 3, and then we'll talk again.